Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being genuinely well-informed. We plunge into fascinating topics, pull out the key insights, and really try to make sense of them for you.
Absolutely. We do the heavy lifting so you don't have to.
Exactly. And today we're tuning our attention to something that's often flying just under the radar, but it's incredibly vibrant: the world of college radio. Specifically, Boston's college radio scene. Have you ever stopped to think about the unique, sometimes experimental, really local sounds bubbling up from university campuses?
It's a fascinating landscape, and often these days just a click away online.
Right. A whole sonic world waiting to be explored pretty much at your fingertips.
And it really is a remarkable landscape, especially in a city like Boston. I think what often gets missed is that these aren't just, casual student clubs playing records.
No, definitely not.
In a city packed with universities like Boston, these college radio stations become, well, vital cultural institutions. They're often where new trends start. They build unique community links.
And they're often the last stand for truly freeform radio, right? Uncommercial, not driven by algorithms.
Precisely. In a world increasingly curated by code, they offer that human touch, that personal discovery. It's becoming quite rare, actually.
That idea of a counter-narrative, the human touch, that's exactly what we want to explore today. Our mission here is to be your guide through this rich, diverse world of Boston's college radio.
Yeah, navigating the different frequencies, the different vibes.
We're aiming to help you understand the unique flavor of each station, maybe a bit of their history, what makes them tick, basically giving you the tools to maybe find your next favorite sound.
And we've dug deep into a really comprehensive guide. It's bang up to date, August 23, 2025. It lays out everything, streaming links, schedules, the specific vibe of each station, programming highlights.
So we're mining that source for the gold.
Exactly. Extracting the most compelling insights, giving you a real feel for what each station offers. The hope is you'll discover something new, maybe a band, an obscure genre, or even an insightful talk show you wouldn't hear otherwise.
Boston really is a special case for this, isn't it? Just the sheer density of colleges.
Oh, absolutely. It's a crucible. So many world-class institutions crammed together. It's not just a few stations, it's a whole ecosystem.
An ecosystem, I like that. Different sounds, different philosophies, all interacting.
And that density creates this incredible spectrum of programming. That's what's really striking. Within the metro area, Boston proper, out to Wellesley, Medford, Waltham, even up to Lowell, you find everything.
Like what kind of range are we talking?
Well, you've got highly polished, almost public radio quality broadcasts on one end.
Okay.
And then on the other end, truly experimental, boundary-pushing, DIY sounds. Really raw stuff.
So whatever kind of sonic adventure you're looking for.
Chances are there's a campus signal or a stream out there ready to surprise you. Passionate, curated content. It's really something. The enduring allure of college radio.
Why? Yeah. Okay, so let's unpack that bigger picture first. What is it about college radio that gives it such a distinctive flavor? Compared to commercial radio, which is all about profit, or even mainstream public radio with its often more defined formats.
That's a great question. I mean, does being non-commercial automatically make it better? Or just different? Maybe more chaotic sometimes.
Right. Is it always interesting or sometimes just, well, unpolished?
Well, I think what's often overlooked is that college radio, almost by definition, is often the last place you find truly freeform programming.
Freeform meaning the DJs pick whatever they want.
Pretty much, yeah. Unlike commercial stations with their rigid playlists driven by ad sales, or even some public radio that sticks to specific, well-tested formats, these stations are mostly run by students.
Okay.
And in many cases by really dedicated community volunteers, too.
Right, not just students.
Which leads to this uncommercial, often wildly eclectic, and I'd say deeply personal approach to broadcasting. You're not just hearing a song. You're hearing a DJ's passion, their latest discovery, maybe something they researched, or a deep cut they genuinely believe you need to hear.
So that unpolished aspect sometimes, that's part of the charm, that authenticity.
I think so, yeah. It shows a direct line between the person choosing the music and the music itself. And it allows for more risk-taking, more experimentation. They're incubators, really.
Incubators for talent.
Both talent behind the mic, the DJs learning their craft, and for the artists they champion. Often years before the mainstream catches on. They're genuine tastemakers.
So that uncommercial thing isn't just a feature, it's like the core philosophy. It lets them take risks you wouldn't hear elsewhere.
Exactly.
So what are some of the common threads? You mentioned eclectic, student-run. What kind of vibe descriptors keep coming up in the source material for these Boston stations? How does that identity show up in the actual programming?
Well, the source consistently uses terms like student-run, obviously, but also eclectic, freeform, and often points out a community radio feel.
Okay.
And this collective identity, it shows up in programming that prioritizes discovery over just playing the hits, authenticity over algorithms.
Right.
So student-run means that content often reflects what younger people are listening to, thinking about their social awareness, but without needing to hit, mass market appeal.
And eclectic freeform.
That means the DJs usually have a lot of freedom. They can curate their own shows, dive deep into really niche genres, or create these surprising mixes you just never expect.
Like what kind of unexpected things?
Oh, you might tune in and hear someone doing an hour on, I don't know, 70s Zambian psych rock.
Wow, okay.
Followed by an hour of obscure French avant-garde electronic music, and then maybe a live local punk band in the studio.
Yeah.
It's unpredictable. It relies entirely on the taste and knowledge of the person behind the mic.
That fosters a real sense of authenticity then. It feels genuine.
Exactly. It's less about what's popular, more about what's interesting, what's maybe challenging, what someone feels needs to be heard.
And crucially, they aren't just broadcasting to the campus anymore, are they? The online presence is huge.
Oh, absolutely critical. You hit on a key point there. The source material makes it clear that almost all of these stations offer online streaming.
Which changes the game completely.
Totally. It blows their reach wide open, far beyond their often quite limited FM signals. Suddenly, anyone, anywhere with internet can tune in. You, listening right now, could be anywhere.
So it keeps them relevant, even with Spotify and everything else dominating.
Precisely. It ensures they stay relevant in a streaming world. They can build a global audience for their very specific niche programming or their experimental stuff or their hyper-local focus. It shows they can adapt while still sharing those unique voices. Local passion, finding a worldwide stage. 2. The flagships. Polished sounds and intellectual depth.
Okay, let's dive into some specific stations then. Let's start with what we might call the flagships, the well-known names, maybe known for a more polished sound or a certain intellectual depth.
Sounds good. Starting at the top, maybe.
Yeah, let's talk WHRS, Emerson College, 88.9 FM. This one sounds like a pretty big deal in the Boston scene. What makes WHRS stand out?
WHRS really is consistently described as one of Boston's flagship college stations. And the key thing, I think, is its sound. It's described as having a polished, semi-professional sound.
Even though it's entirely student-run.
Exactly. Which tells you something, right?
Yeah.
It suggests a high level of dedication, probably some pretty rigorous training for the students involved, a real commitment to broadcast quality.
Interesting. So how do they manage that? Balancing student involvement with professional sound and appealing to, like, an adult audience with indie music.
That's the tightrope they walk. They seem to do it by being a place where new, perhaps more mature-sounding artists can get heard, artists commercial stations might not touch yet, but they maintain that professional quality that makes them, accessible and respected by a broader audience, not just students.
That's a fascinating balance. So it's curated. Let's get into their programming. They feature an adult album alternative mix, AAA, indie, folk, rock, soul. What does that AAA label really mean? Who are they aiming for?
Yeah, AAA is quite telling about where WHRS positions itself. It usually signals a focus on artists and genres that maybe don't fit top 40, but still appeal to a, let's say, discerning adult audience. People looking for quality, maybe depth, lyrical integrity, something beyond fleeting pop hits.
So not just singles, but albums.
Right. The album part suggests focusing on the whole work, encouraging a deeper listen. It positions WHRS as a kind of sophisticated tastemaker. They're curating a distinct sound, accessible, but still adventurous, definitely not overtly commercial. They're aiming for listeners who grew up with alternative music, maybe, but still want to discover new things.
And they don't just play recorded music. They have a live music series, studio performances. That must be a big draw.
Oh, absolutely crucial. This makes WHRS a vital hub for artists, both emerging acts and established ones, especially within Boston's music scene.
And for listeners too, right? Getting those unique performances.
Exactly. You get these raw, often intimate versions of songs you can't hear anywhere else. And for the artists, it's huge exposure, a chance to connect with a really engaged audience, hone their live sound in a pro setting. It really shows WHRS isn't just playing music, they're actively nurturing the music ecosystem.
They also have Standing Room Only, a long-running Broadway and musical theater show. That seems quite specific for a station with an AAA focus.
It really is, isn't it? And it shows that commitment to niche genres that radio often ignores. Broadway fans are incredibly dedicated, but good luck finding consistent, in-depth airplay on most stations.
So it shows the students' passions can still come through.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It highlights the diverse interests within Emerson and the station crew. It's a perfect example of college radio serving specific cultural niches that commercial radio just wouldn't touch. A haven for show tune lovers.
And it's not only music, right? They have public affairs programming too, like You Are Here.
Correct. Which shows WHRS has a broader scope. They're engaging with community issues, current events, offering in-depth discussion. It's essential for giving students that well-rounded media, experienced journalism, civic engagement, not just spinning records. It makes them a more conscientious outlet.
Lastly, their HD2 channel, ERS plus B, it focuses on R&B, hip-hop, urban sounds. What's the strategy there?
I think that's really smart. It shows foresight. They can reach diverse audiences and offer specialized programming without diluting the main channel's AAA identity.
So keeping the main channel focused while still serving other tastes.
Exactly. They acknowledge how huge and important R&B and hip-hop are, give those genres a dedicated, high-quality space, and broaden their overall appeal across different demographics. It's clever, multi-channel strategy.
Okay, so from Emerson's polished AAA approach, let's pivot completely. Harvard's WHRB 95.3 FM. This sounds like it operates on a whole different plane.
Oh, it's an absolute shift. Yeah. WHRB's vibe is described as structured, departmental, highly intellectual.
Intellectual, okay.
But what really makes it famous, almost legendary, are its marathon-style orgies of music.
Orgies. Okay, tell me more.
Yeah, so their term. Imagine days, literally days of uninterrupted deep dives into a single artist's complete works or a composer's entire output or a specific musical theme, all presented with, like, academic rigor.
Wow, days long.
Yeah, it's an incredible commitment to in-depth, almost scholarly exploration. It's not just background music. It's an immersive, cerebral listening experience you just won't find anywhere else.
That's amazing. Orgies of music, fantastic description. So talk about that departmental structure. Classical, jazz spectrum, record hospital for indie punk, the darker side for hip-hop electronic, blues hangover, hillbilly at Harvard, even sports. How does that shape them?
This structure, it feels almost like university departments, doesn't it? It suggests deep expertise and a real historical appreciation within each genre. Each department probably has its own dedicated team, specialists in their field.
So the classical department isn't just playing Beethoven's Fifth.
Probably not just the Fifth. They might present a whole cycle of his symphonies, maybe with historical context, analysis, almost like a course. Record Hospital sounds like careful, maybe archival curation of underground stuff. Hillbilly at Harvard suggests an informed, maybe even ethnomusicological take on country and folk.
It ensures breadth and depth then, a curated historical approach.
Exactly. Genuinely rare and intellectually stimulating for radio.
And those orgies, the dedication involved must be immense. How does programming, say, days of just one artist foster that intellectual engagement?
It takes enormous dedication and serious research. It's not just hitting shuffle. It involves planning the sequence, maybe providing commentary that educates, adds context.
Can you give an example?
Imagine, say, a Bob Dylan orgy. Every album, maybe chronologically, with discussion of lyrical shifts, musical evolution, cultural impact, or days of just Bach cantatas, concertos, keyboard works, everything.
Wow.
It forces you to engage intellectually. You're not just consuming, you're understanding an artist's journey, a genre's history, thematic threads. It's like a university lecture series. But for music lovers, delivered over the airwaves, truly immersive and educational.
So from Emerson's polish to Harvard's marathons, incredible variety already, but Boston's airwaves get even wilder, don't they? Some stations seem to just tear up the rule book.
Oh, definitely. Let's head into the freeform frontier now, where things get really adventurous. 3, the freeform frontier. Adventurous, experimental, and DIY.
Right. If you're looking for sounds way off the beaten path, Boston College radio seems like the place. Let's dive into the boundary pushers, starting with WZBC, Boston College, 90.3 FM.
WZBC. The description is spot on. Wild, adventurous, boundary pushing. It's got this fascinating split personality which makes it really dynamic.
Split personality? How so?
Well, during the day, you might hear more straightforward indie or alternative rock. Still adventurous compared to mainstream, but relatively accessible.
Okay.
But then As evening comes,
Eh.
it just morphs, dives deep into experimental noise, avant-garde sounds. It signals this real willingness to challenge listeners, embrace the unconventional, maybe even the uncomfortable.
So it caters to different levels of adventurousness.
Exactly. It's like a gateway drug, maybe. Draws you in with indie, then leads you towards the really challenging stuff later on.
And they're programming. No commercial potential. That overnight block, that name alone is a statement, isn't it?
It's incredibly bold.
Hmm.
A clear, intentional challenge to commercial radio norms. It basically celebrates music that would never get played elsewhere.
So what kind of stuff falls under no commercial potential? Avant-garde, experimental.
Yeah.
What does that actually sound like?
Think abstract electronic soundscapes, maybe challenging noise pieces like walls of feedback, distorted sounds, free jazz that completely breaks conventional structure, maybe even recordings of, I don't know, amplified plumbing or something. Sounds designed to provoke thought, challenge your idea of what music even is, rather than just entertain.
Wow. Okay. A sanctuary for the truly experimental.
Definitely. And their genre exploration beyond that block is just as fearless. Underground, punk, noise, local artists, but also specialty blocks for world music, electronic, jazz hybrids, even video game soundtracks.
Video game soundtracks, that's niche.
Isn't it? But it shows that fearless approach. If there's an audience, if there's artistic merit, they'll explore it. Underground punk next to complex jazz hybrids next to game scores. It's about exploring the full spectrum of sound, giving voice to sounds that don't fit neat boxes.
And like WHRS, they also mix in public affairs. Syndicated shows like Democracy Now!
Yeah, which is significant. It shows a commitment beyond just music, diverse voices, critical information, including Democracy Now! Suggests an interest in progressive news, in-depth analysis. It shows a station can be both culturally adventurous and civically engaged, an alternative perspective on news alongside alternative music.
Okay, let's move across the river to MIT. WMBR 88.1 FM described as legendary among Freeform fans. That's high praise. What earns it that legendary status?
It really is high praise, and WMBR seems to live up to it. It's described as wildly eclectic, uncommercial, run by students and community DJs, with a very DIY but broad in reach vibe.
So classic Freeform spirit.
Exactly. What makes it legendary, I think, is the sheer creative freedom the DJs have. No rigid formats, no playlists dictated from above. It allows for incredibly personal, unpredictable programming. You tune in for that specific DJ's taste, knowing you might hear literally anything.
That fosters a real bond, I imagine, between DJ and listener.
Definitely. It's that human curation, that trust in someone's unique perspective. 1 hour could be forgotten 60s psych rock. The next, it could be, well, challenging 20th century classical.
Right. Their highlights mention punk, hardcore, indie, experimental, but also deep dives into obscure genres like garage rock and 20th century classical. How does that push things even further?
Well, where WZBC might lean into the really experimental, WMBR seems to relish digging into obscure genres with almost scholarly intensity and their historical context.
Like musical archaeology.
Kind of. Imagine a DJ doing a whole show on, say, obscure 1960s garage bands from Peru, or delving into the complexities of minimalist composers like Lamonte Young or Terry Riley. It's not just playing the music, it's exploring these niche histories. It broadens your horizons, exposes you to stuff you'd probably never find otherwise.
And given it's MIT, it's not surprising they also have talk shows, political analysis, tech programs.
Absolutely reflects the institution. MIT is a hub for tech, for rigorous discourse. So WMBR extends beyond music to include discussions on cutting-edge tech, maybe nuanced political analysis, talk shows reflecting that intense intellectual curiosity on campus. They leverage the expertise right there.
And they have an annual pipeline, Local Music Week. What's the significance of that?
That's a huge commitment to the local scene, a hallmark of community-engaged radio. Pipeline likely serves as a major showcase for emerging Boston area artists, giving them crucial airtime, helping them find an audience.
So it connects the station directly with local musicians.
Exactly. It reinforces WMBR's role as a grassroots platform, an incubator for the next wave of Boston artists. Really vital work.
Okay, let's shift slightly to Tufts University, WMFO, 91.5 FM. Also Freeform. How does it carve out its own identity within this adventurous landscape?
WMFO is described as freeform community radio, strongly eclectic. Its distinct flavor seems to come from its mix of hosts. Students, yes, but also alums and local volunteers.
Ah, so a multi-generational mix.
Right. That blend creates a really dynamic environment. You get youthful energy, but also institutional memory from alums and broader community perspectives from volunteers. They're noted for deep libraries of rock and alternative, suggesting a rich archive they draw on.
That mix of voices and deep libraries must lead to some diverse programming.
For sure. And their highlights reflect that. Broad, free-form music covering everything from folk to metal to experimental. It really emphasizes the DJ's individual passion.
So 1 hour folk ballads, the next hour obscure metal.
Could be. It truly reflects the diverse taste within that mixed community. If you value personal curation, there's likely something there for you.
And like WMBR, they also feature local artists and cultural programming.
Yeah, again showing that commitment to championing local talent and reflecting community interest beyond just music. These showcases are vital for emerging artists, and the cultural shows may be about local arts, community issues, anchor the station firmly in its surroundings.
Now, here's something really striking about WMFO. Historically, it's known for breaking new artists. Tracy Chapman is the example given. That's incredible for a campus station.
Isn't it? This is a huge insight into the power of college radio. The fact that WMFO has this legacy, that it played a role in launching someone like Tracy Chapman, it's a profound testament to their role as tastemakers.
It shows they're not just playing to niche tastes, they're actively shaping the future of music.
Exactly. Before artists hit the mainstream, they often get their first real airplay, build that crucial early audience on college radio. It shows that authentic, independent curation, driven by passion, not profit, can have this massive ripple effect. A local station changing the national, even international music landscape that's organic discovery algorithms just can't replicate.
That's a powerful point. Okay, so these freeform stations are clearly vital and adventurous, but there's another whole category, right? Stations focus more squarely on campus life itself.
Right. The ones that are really about serving the university community, training students. Let's tune into those voices now. IV, Campus Voices, the student-centric and community-driven.
Yeah, many of these stations are clearly a huge part of campus life. Let's look at those focusing on student development, university culture. First up, WTBU, Boston University, AM 640, Campus FM, and online. It's described as 100% student-run, scrappy and fun. What does scrappy tell you?
Scrappy and fun paints a great picture, doesn't it? Youthful energy, maybe resourceful, innovative. It's explicitly called a proving ground for BU media students, which really highlights its core educational role.
So less about polish, more about learning by doing.
Exactly. It's a hands-on lab. Students experiment, learn from mistakes, gain real-world broadcast experience in a dynamic, maybe less formal environment. Scrappy suggests they make do with what they have, but are probably really creative and authentic because of it.
And their programming. Student DJ blocks covering indie, pop, electronic, hip-hop, folk reflects what students are actually listening to.
Absolutely. Those DJ blocks are the station's heartbeat, directly mirroring current student tastes at BU. The wide range of genres shows they represent diverse preferences, and the DJs get freedom to showcase their personal picks. That creates a really authentic connection with their peers on campus.
And they do talk shows, cover BU campus culture. That seems essential for a station like this.
Profoundly key, yes. WTBU acts as the voice of the university for the students. These shows cover student concerns, campus events, local issues affecting students. It's a sonic window into daily life at BU, a vital platform for student discussion and information, right where it matters most to them.
Plus BU sports coverage, live commentary, great training, and connects with school spirit.
Absolutely vital on both fronts. Keeps students connected to their teams, builds community, and for the student broadcasters, invaluable experience in live sports commentary. That's a demanding skill. It really underlines the practical training mission, high-pressure, live broadcasting.
And even being scrappy, they manage occasional live sets and interviews.
Yeah, which is impressive for an all-student operation. It shows a commitment to supporting artists, maybe local ones or those visiting campus. Adds another dynamic layer, connecting recorded music with live performance and artist stories.
Okay, moving over to Brandeis University, WBRS 100.1 FM. This one seems to blend student focus with a community feel.
It does seem to strike that balance. It has block programming with diverse student DJ shows, so there's structure. But it also retains a community radio feel.
What does that balance mean in practice?
It suggests maybe specific time slots are allocated, perhaps by genre. But within those slots, student DJs have freedom and a distinct voice. The community feel likely means its programming reaches beyond the campus into Waltham, serving the wider local area, fostering that broader connection.
And their music reflects that broad appeal. Rock, hip-hop, jazz, world music.
Yeah, that diversity seems strategic. Covering that wide range helps them appeal to different tastes both on campus and in the local community. Keeps it from being too niche, ensures there's something engaging for a wider audience in Waltham and nearby.
And like BU, they cover Brandeis athletics and have news talk slots.
Right, covering those vital campus interests. Sports broadcasting connects to school spirit, gives students commentary experience. News and talk let students engage with current events, campus issues, develop journalistic skills, makes it a comprehensive media platform for students interested in different areas.
And live performances from the Brandeis area scene.
Again, that strong commitment to local talent. Supporting and promoting musicians nearby, giving them exposure, offering unique live content. It really solidifies their role as a community connector, a platform for local culture.
Now, Curry College, WMLN FM, 91.5 FM. This one sounds very focused, almost like a trade school for radio.
That's a good way to put it. It's distinctively described as more structured, training-focused, where students get hands-on experience in broadcast. The educational mission is very clear and explicit here.
So less freeform chaos, more learning the ropes.
Exactly. It seems less about wild experimentation, more about providing a practical, maybe curriculum-linked environment to learn professional broadcasting skills. A direct pipeline for developing foundational techniques for a radio career.
Which explains why their student DJ shows cover popular genres. Top 40, alt-rock, hip-hop, electronic. It's practical experience.
Precisely. Focusing on those popular genres gives students direct, marketable experience with formats they'd likely encounter in commercial radio. They learn music selection, on-air presentation for contemporary tastes. It's real job training.
And the talk, variety, and Curry sports coverage rounds out that practical training.
Yes, talk of variety blocks build skills in interviewing, discussion, content creation for spoken word formats. Sports coverage provides that essential live commentary experience. It's a holistic training ground, preparing them for various media roles.
Let's talk about Wellesley College, WZLY 91.5 FM and online. This one has a very clear, strong identity.
Oh, absolutely. WZLY embodies a distinct feminist, alternative, DIY energy. That's not just descriptive. It's a statement of purpose reflecting Wellesley's values and community.
So the station is really an extension of the college's ethos.
Very much so. Strong focus on student DJs, campus events, underground culture, all filtered through that specific, empowering lens. A powerful example of a station amplifying its institution's unique identity.
And the programming reflects that directly. Freeform DJ shows, interviews with feminist and queer artists.
Central to their philosophy, the Freeform shows empower student voices, and specifically seeking out interviews with feminist and queer artists provides a crucial platform, giving voice to communities often marginalized in mainstream media.
So it's about representation and challenging norms.
Exactly. It makes WZLY vital for underrepresented perspectives, diverse cultural narratives, promoting inclusivity. Listeners get to hear directly from artists often pushing social and cultural boundaries.
And they use online content too. Blogs, reviews, campus event tie-ins.
Yeah, showing a smart multi-platform approach. Blogs and reviews offer more avenues for content, critical discussion. Tying into campus events keeps the station deeply relevant locally, a central hub for information and community building at Wellesley.
Okay, let's step slightly outside the immediate Boston core. UMass Lowell. WUML, 91.5 FM. What's their flavor?
WUML is described as student-run with some community input, and a true variety station plus sports. That mix of student and community voices often leads to broader appeal, a richer mix of programming.
True variety station, meaning they play a bit of everything.
Seems like it. A real commitment to offering a wide array of sounds and talk, catering to diverse tastes both among students and in the wider Lowell community. Thoughtful curation across the board.
So diverse music blocks rock, indie electronic metal, hip-hop, catering widely.
Right. That range ensures the station stays vibrant and appealing to many different musical preferences in a large university town. Makes it an inclusive listening experience, something for almost everyone.
And local music features plus Riverhawk sports coverage. Strong local ties.
Definitely. Featuring Lowell area music gives local artists a platform. Covering the Riverhawks, the UMass Lowell teams fosters school spirit and community connection, binds the community to the station.
And community talk and cultural shows, too.
Which demonstrates their commitment extends beyond the campus to the wider Lowell community. A forum for local issues, cultural discussions, community voices, makes it a genuine community resource reflecting Lowell's own character.
So a real range of these campus-focused stations. Teaching skills, giving voice. But we have one more distinct type to cover, right?
Yes, one more station that really carves out its own unique niche, kind of blending campus roots with a public radio sensibility. A different model altogether. The specialized niche. Public radio's campus cousin.
Okay, our final station. WMB from UMass Boston, 91.9 FM. Now, this one is described quite differently. A bit more professional public radio style than student-run, but still rooted in campus. And specifically known for folk and acoustic music, that really sets it apart.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
WMMB occupies this really interesting strategic position. More professional public radio style. Suggests, maybe higher production values, more curated playlists, less free-form spontaneity perhaps, adhering more to established broadcast standards.
But still connected to UMass Boston.
Right, still rooted in campus.
Yeah.
But its defining trait is that unwavering focus on a specific genre cluster, folk and acoustic.
So in a city full of experimental and student stations, they carve out this specific niche.
Exactly. It's almost like strategic counter-programming. They become this deep archival hub for folk music, almost a living library for that tradition. That specialization builds a really loyal audience, maybe more effectively than trying for broad appeal sometimes.
And the programming highlights really bear that out. Deep focus on folk, roots, Americana, singer-songwriter shows, plus Celtic and acoustic blocks.
Yeah, it's not just playing some folk. It's a deliberate deep dive into that whole spectrum, often with historical reverence. Adding dedicated Celtic and acoustic blocks just solidifies that reputation as a sanctuary for these sounds.
A commitment to preserving a specific musical heritage.
Almost an academic commitment, in a way, but delivered accessibly over the radio. For fans of these genres, it's indispensable. New discoveries alongside beloved classics.
And they branch out slightly on weekends. Specialty shows covering blues, world, local artists.
Right, exploring related genres like blues and world music, which often share roots with folk, and importantly, dedicating time to local artists within those traditions. It adds layers while staying true to that core mission, depth plus local relevance.
The source also mentions syndicated acquired programs in roots folk traditions. That sounds very public radio.
It absolutely does. Using syndicated or acquired shows is a strong indicator of that professional public radio approach. WMB isn't just relying on its own local production, it's bringing in nationally recognized programs that fit its mission perfectly.
Which elevates the quality and scope.
Significantly. It brings top-tier specialized content to their audience, much like a larger NPR affiliate might, but all filtered through their specific folk roots lens and campus connection.
So putting it all together, how does this more professional niche focus really differentiate WMB from the often more experimental student-run stations we've discussed? What does it tell us about the definition of college radio?
It really highlights the incredible range of what college radio can mean in a place like Boston. WMB's approach suggests maybe a different funding model, perhaps more public support or grants involved, not just student fees.
So less reliant on student DJs doing whatever they want.
Probably. Unlike the freeform or training-focused stations, WMB seems geared towards serving a broader public radio audience with a very specific interest, folk and roots music. But it still maintains that UMass Boston affiliation.
So it bridges the gap.
In a way, yeah. It shows a station can be campus-based but operate with the polish and specialized focus of mature public broadcasting. It offers a calm, curated alternative to the raw energy of the purely student-driven stations, a bridge between the university world and a very specific, passionate public audience for a particular kind of music. 6. The big picture. Why Boston's college radio is a treasure.
Okay, we've covered so much ground. From the polish of words, the intellectual depth of WHRB, the wild experiments at WZBC and WMBR, the campus voices like WTBU, the training ground at WMLN, the specific identity of WZLY, the variety at WUML, and finally the folk sanctuary of WMB.
It's quite a tour.
It really is. So, stepping back, what's the big picture here? What does this incredible tapestry mean for someone listening in or wanting to explore these stations? What are the main takeaways from this deep dive?
I think the biggest takeaway, honestly, is the sheer diversity packed into one metropolitan area. These stations aren't just playing tunes. They are, as you said earlier, cultural laboratories. They're community hubs. They're crucial training grounds, all rolled into one.
They create this unique media ecosystem.
Exactly. It demonstrates the power of local, human-curated broadcasting.
Okay, let's break down that impact. First is cultural incubators. Why are they so important in that role?
They're absolutely vital for the city's artistic health. We heard how WMFO historically helped break Tracy Chapman. That's a huge impact, right? Launching careers.
Right, tastemaking.
And stations like WZBC, with no commercial potential, they're constantly pushing sonic boundaries, playing stuff mainstream radio wouldn't dream of touching. Avant-garde, noise.
And WHRB's orgies, that deep dive exploration.
Exactly. They're where new ideas get tested, where new sounds find an audience first. They often shape music trends years before they hit the mainstream. They are genuinely the front lines of musical discovery.
And beyond music, they're also vital community connectors, giving voice to their immediate world.
Oh, absolutely. They forge really strong bonds. Think of WTBU doing the BU Sports Live, WMBR's Pipeline, showcasing local bands,
Yeah.
WML having community talk shows for Lowell.
Hyperlocal news, campus events.
Stuff that bigger outlets might miss. Platforms for local artists. They create this sense of shared identity, belonging, often the most authentic voice for their specific campus or neighborhood.
And for the students involved, it's clear they're incredible educational powerhouses. That hands-on experience.
Undeniably. You just can't replicate that in a classroom. They're proving grounds, like at WTBU, training-focused like WMLN. Students learn broadcasting, journalism, production, engineering, management.
A whole range of skills.
Critical skills for media careers. They build a real portfolio before they even graduate. Invaluable experience.
And finally, maybe increasingly important today, they preserve niche sounds, especially against the tide of algorithms.
This might be one of their most crucial roles now. In an age of streaming playlists trying to guess what you like, and commercial radio often sounding the same, these stations champion obscurity. They champion intellectual programming. They offer that human touch in curation.
Like WMBR digging into forgotten garage rock, or WMB's dedication to folk.
Exactly. They're actively preserving cultural heritage, celebrating diverse sounds, offering an alternative to the impersonal algorithm. They ensure unique voices and specialized music still have a home on the airwaves, proving that not only the popular stuff has value.
It really is incredible how each station seems to reflect the unique personality, the academic focus, even the values of its home institution.
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? From Harvard's intellectual rigor at WHRB to Wellesley's feminist alternative energy at WZLY, they're extensions of their university's identities.
Offering perspectives you won't find elsewhere.
Precisely. Each station has its own voice, its own mission. It makes Boston's college radio scene this incredibly vibrant, complex tapestry, a real microcosm of the city's intellectual and cultural diversity. Outro.
Wow, what an incredible tour through Boston's college radio landscape. We've heard about everything from polished professionalism at Emerson to academic deep dives at Harvard, the folk haven at UMass Boston, and all those vital, experimental, community-focused stations dotted across the map.
It's a truly rich and diverse scene, constantly buzzing with innovation and connection.
Absolutely. And hopefully this deep dive serves as just the starting point for you, our listener.
Yes. Definitely. With all those streaming links easily available, as highlighted in our source material, you have a direct line in. You can explore specific shows we mentioned, maybe discover genres you never knew existed, tune in to a live campus event.
It's an open invitation to explore this unique sonic world for yourself.
Please do take advantage of it. That next amazing discovery, whether it's a challenging noise track or a beautiful old folk song, it's just a click away, waiting for you to find it.
So it leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? In this age of endless streaming, personalized algorithms, what is the enduring, maybe irreplaceable value of a truly freeform, locally focused, passionately human-curated radio station?
How do they not just survive, but actually thrive? By offering something so fundamentally different, maybe more authentic.
And what unexpected, personally chosen gems are still out there waiting for you to discover on the Boston airwaves, a real testament to the power of individuals just sharing their love of sound.